A Wrinkle in Time is the next play to be presented by the theater department at Burr and Burton Academy, marking a return to the stage at the Riley Center after a year of having to work around the restrictions imposed by the COVID pandemic. The curtains will rise at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, November 3rd, and the performances will run through Saturday, November 6th. Originally written as a young adult novel by American author Madeleine L'Engle and published in 1962, the award-winning book traces the story of three main characters who travel through time and space to save one of the characters' fathers and, along the way, the world. Conflicts of good and evil and light and darkness are explored as the young characters grow and evolve along their journey. Jim Raposa of the Burr and Burton Creative Arts faculty directed the play.
We were looking at the shows for this year. I had picked one show that was very easy to do and would have required very little work on our part to get the fall play up and running. And then in a bit of an off-the-cuff remark, my set designer was like, "Really? You really like that show?" And I was like, "I don't know if I really like that show." So I went back to the drawing board and started reading shows and started trying to figure things out. And I came upon 4 versions of A Wrinkle in Time. And what really made me choose it was that it was about a young woman's journey and how she finds herself and matures, and literally she saves the day. And I thought that was really important. We always have these heroes out there in the world, and it's nice to have a heroine. And the story has sci-fi, it has romance, it has all of these different aspects of fantasy in it. And I thought it would also be a great show for young people to come and see.
So what was the biggest challenge of doing it? That set in there looks kind of interesting. Was that hard to construct, or?
It's interesting. The set itself was the easiest to construct as our sets go. It's been time consuming with layering what Paul Molinelli has wanted to do. But we've also had a great tech class that has worked on it, and the kids who have been coming in on the weekends. So in certain ways, it's the easiest set we've done. But what we've done this year is through the generosity of BBA and through some fundraising that happened during Clue, we've been able to bring in some new lighting into the area. So we have a new light board that we were brought in thanks to the fundraising from Clue, and then we were able to purchase some moving lights that we are using, and we've brought in Stuart Duke, who used to work up at Weston Playhouse and helped run that and has done lighting design for us for years. In addition to working on Broadway and teaching, he is doing our lighting design for us. And so that's what's doing the heavy lifting in that sense.
So last spring you had to do the play up there in the courtyard in the open air, and now you're back in the theater. I just wondered, is the whole pandemic still impacting all of this stuff in some way?
Yeah,
or?
I mean, we're outside, so I don't have to wear a mask. So we are still under the mandate from, I believe, the governor, where if we are inside, we have to wear masks. And so we've been doing that. The students have been doing that. We've been practicing in masks, and we are still trying to ascertain whether we will be able to not have masks on when we perform. The audience has to wear masks. And so we're kind of following what Broadway has set down and what those unions have set down. But we're not too sure yet what will happen with the students. And we're just waiting to hear back on that.
Is there going to be social distancing in the seating, or?
No. In Broadway houses and in theaters that are happening now, they are mandating that everybody is vaccinated and show proof of that and wear a mask. We're not mandating that, but we believe that it is an hour show, and our social distancing, we'll try to spread the audience out depending upon how many seats are available that night. I mean, after last year and after the pandemic, they have been incredibly excited to get back together and get working again. The social aspect that they missed for almost a year and a half really affected them. And so it's been interesting to see them kind of grow together as a cast, gain their confidence, and now to see them really supporting each other has been a joy to see.
August Stauffer and Jesse Dykes are two members of the cast who talked with us about the play and their characters in it.
Well, the role that I play is I'm the man with red eyes. In the second act, the main characters travel to Camazotz, which is the sort of headquarters of darkness, and I'm one of the first people that they meet once they've gotten to the Central Intelligence Building, which is the central of evil on Camazotz. The show definitely is, there's a lot of science fiction. It centers around Meg Murray, who's a girl who her father has been missing for the last few years. He's a scientist that works for NASA. And so the plot is that he has figured out a rudimentary time-space travel mechanism and has been testing it out for the government. But he's captured by evildoers in another galaxy, I suppose. And so the course of the show is Meg, her little brother Charles Wallace, and her friend Calvin as they journey across time and space to save their father. Yeah, I haven't really been involved in the theater program for the last 2 years. I went away to Mountain Campus, which is the semester program at BBA, and then COVID happened, so I wasn't really involved during COVID, but I'm glad to be back.
I play It, the big baddie of the show. It is seen as the main antagonist of the story, the one holding Meg's father, the one taking control over Camazotz and, in frank terms, enslaving its people. No one likes it. No one likes it. I've had a lot of fun with it because Jim has been very ambitious with the tech that he wants to use in this. It's made so many different parts, so many moving pieces to it that make it really fun to engage with. Like, I'm not just a character. If you'll see, I'm actually on stilts, and I have a LED face mask. So there's all sorts of little details that he's put in here that look amazing. So it's really cool to see this show. I read A Wrinkle in Time as a child. I had my mother read it to me when I was in like 4th grade. And so it's really nice to see this show put on stage being in it.
So, was there any big challenge to kind of mastering this part, or did it kind of come naturally and easily, or?
One of the big things with it is every little tick, every little reaction that occurs in a normal person has to be absent. It isn't a human. It is just a being. It is rhythmic and perfect. Perfect. So anything that I would do normally while just standing there, I can't do. I have to stay in character. I have to be it. I have to be in rhythm. Another thing that's just special to it is the stilts. Those took me a while to get used to, and eventually we had them raised up a few times. But by now, I feel pretty confident in walking around on them and navigating the stage.
You can obtain tickets for the play by visiting the Burr and Burton Academy website. Again, opening night is Wednesday, November 3rd at 6:30 p.m., with performances running through until Saturday, November 6th. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.